This is Underground Opolis.
Hello, friends, family, fiends of Underground Opolis. Fans, if there are any. I'm just kidding. Very excited tonight. Welcoming back my next guest. He's been on the show before, but he's returned and he's talking. I'm going to talk about his new record, and I listened to it today. It's a great record too, man. I'm just going to go ahead and start bestowing compliments on my man here in just a second. All right. I'm going to bring right on here. Welcome back.
Thanks, man. I appreciate the nice words, and thanks for plugging my music and listening to it. It's great to be back.
Well, you know, I've been a fan of a Bloody Mess fan for quite some time. Since the old Hungover and Stoned.
Wow, that's quite a long time.
Yeah. Got it on cassette.
Nice. Yeah, those are hard to come by.
Got that and 6th grade field trip. Got them both on cassette.
Nice. Yep, the both Scabs albums.
Well, what are you going to tell us about tonight?
Wow, man, my new album dropped yesterday. Daze Unfazed. It surprised me and got here a little early, and apparently it was here for about a week. I was out of town, but it officially dropped yesterday on CD. It's been out on digital format for about a month or so or less. But yeah, the CDs popped in today. So yeah, I'm real happy, and I'm selling CDs now.
Well, let me know if you do a cassette run too.
Absolutely.
Hey, cassettes are on the rise, believe it or not, just like vinyl is. So are cassettes. It's crazy.
Yeah, I still have a cassette player, so I play cassettes.
I do too. I still got my 1982 I got it for Christmas. It's a Sears. It still works perfectly. Damn, Sears made some great products.
Yeah.
when
they were still making stuff to last, back in the day when they're making stuff to last forever instead of break down in a year or whatever.
Yeah, but maybe that's why they went out of business, because everything they built was good.
Oh, did Sears went under? I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. There might be an online store or something, but I don't think there's any brick and mortar stores anymore, man.
Well, that sucks. No,
yeah, it does, man. But yeah, I still got my boom box I got for Christmas, and it still works. And it's awesome. I still play CDs and cassettes and vinyl.
Man, I miss the boom boxes, man. I have a portable record player, but it's just not the same to carry on your shoulder.
No. So let's talk about Daze Unfazed.
Yeah.
You got a lot of special guests on the record.
I do. I'm very grateful and blessed, man. 13 songs, 10 of them are original and 3 are covers. And the 3 covers are Baby Please Don't Go, the old blues standard, which I did with my partner, Jordan Longmire from Scotland. He did the co-vocals on that. We both did vocals. And there's another song called Mother Under My Wheel, which I did with Lisa Leathers, who's awesome, from Central Illinois. And of course, there is Chasing the Night, which is a Ramone song, of course, written by Dee Dee and Joey Ramone and Busta Jones, that I did with Gordon Anthony over in Scotland. So those are the 3 covers.
And it's a very great version. Like I love that's one of my favorite songs on there. We'll get to that though.
Which one?
Chasing the Night, your version. Chasing the Night it's great. I've listened to it quite a few times. I was like,
oh man, I appreciate it. I appreciate that. And that was the first song I recorded for the record, man.
Really?
Yeah, that was done over in Scotland, and it was a little studio called The Box in Cockenzie, Scotland. And Gordon Anthony, who from the band Holocaust, he played all the instruments and backing vocals. He mixed it, recorded it. We did it in 2 takes, and it took about 8 minutes to record the vocals, and that was it, man. I walked in, did them, and I said, let me do one more take, and then we did one more take, and then Gordon mixed it, and that's how it came out.
Wow. Now, is there, since it is my show, we'll talk about my favorite songs. One is I just listened to it today, so forgive me if my memory's like sky's black.
Skies Are Black. That's one of my personal favorites on the album.
Well, tell me the story behind that.
Well, that story is that's a cathartic song that sometimes when artists go through emotions like anger, sorrow, whatever, instead of feeling those emotions for long, an artist or a musician or whatever art the medium might be, they'll turn that into a song, and therefore making a pleasant or unpleasant experience, captured forever, but it turns into something good. In other words, that song was written from a place of some deep depression and a little bit of expectations being let down and some anger. But at the end of the day, now when I hear that song, I don't have the anger or any of those emotions anymore, because now it's a song that when other people hear it, they have their own interpretation. So it's not like, oh, there's this angry song that I can feel that negative vibe. I really think it's a cool cacophony, almost a gothic blues song. And I got to give credit to Don Bowles from the Germs and a million other bands. Wow. Donnie Bowles is the one that did the backup vocals, and my friend Lydia Paweski did some of the mid-range vocals, and I did the lows. But Don Bowles, he did about 30 different vocal takes, and he's the one that made that chorus sound the way it does. And he just came in, had never heard it before, just put on his headphones, and he just knew what he was doing. And when it came on, I'm like, wow, now it's not just a blues song, it's like gothic blues. And Don Bowles is just like a genius, man. So.
Well, let's talk about Rock and Roll Therapy.
That's another one. Don Bowles, he took the chorus, which was a normal chorus that just rock and roll therapy. But if you listen, it sounds like a group of a big gospel church singing. And it's just Richie Ramone was hanging out in the studio that day we recorded that. And Richie says to me, this song sounds like Mata Hoople without the horns. And I go, what? What a compliment. So Don Bowles, again, gets credit for taking the vocal and making the backup something that I did not expect. I mean, they were like doing whispering, they were doing screaming, they were singing, and then they mixed it together. What came out was, again, Don Bowles' arrangement. Also on backing vocals on that song, Bill Meisner from Bloody Mess and the Scabs, the old days.
Oh, yeah?
He's the guy that wrote Empty with me. He was on there doing Jordan Longmire, or was Jordan on that? Yeah, Jordan Longmire does some lead vocal work on that song. Sister Tracy from the Church of Rock radio show in Latitude 42, she did vocals on that, and I think my friend Lydia Paweski is on that as well. So we did what's called gang vocals on that one. So I really like Rock and Roll Therapy.
I do too. Cool. When you said he wrote Empty with me, I was like,
yeah, it was cool. The last time me and Bill Meisner hooked up in the studio was 1992 when we recorded Empty. So that was wild all these years later to be in the studio with him again.
Yeah. That's another when I think Bloody Mess, I think Empty.
Thanks, man.
Well, I was hoping you'd take that as a compliment.
Have you heard the version we did in Scotland last year?
Maybe not.
Yeah, there's a re-recorded version that I did with one of the ex-Bay City Rollers, but it's on the Skies Are Blue album, it's called. And yeah, we did it. It's also a music video that was shot in Scotland, so that's on YouTube. If you just type in Bloody Mess, Pat McGlynn, Empty, it'll pop up, and it's all filmed in the Highlands and in Old Town Scotland, Edinburgh.
There will be a link to that in the description, just so everybody can check it out through that video.
Thank you.
And oh, I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, when you said sometimes you get feelings and you put them in songs. Well, I'll just a little shameless self promotion. My songs are usually about getting even. Not necessarily getting even, but they are getting. Usually, if you hear me, like if somebody were to hear one of my songs and I'm actually picking on someone real bad, it's because this is me getting even.
Music is a great medium, man. It really is. You can write a love song to express your feelings to somebody. You can write a hate song, but it's better than throwing bricks through someone's window or punching somebody, So.
The song maybe not about I've got to get even with this guy, but no, it'd be a song about picking on someone or whatever,
Yeah, it's a healthy way of getting even, though.
Yeah. Let's talk about this creepy town, this creepy little town?
Dave Moe, what a genius. He wrote the music and he played all the instruments on that too. And he's on about half of the album, actually. But Dave Moe was in my old band, Bloody Mess and the Transfusions, back in the day.
Oh.
And he's also in a band called Super 88 that's been around at least 30 years, and they're just awesome. And Dave Moe sent me a whole thing called a Bloody Baker's Dozen, 13 songs. And so I used 6 or 7 of the songs on my album. Plus, he did Baby Please Don't Go as a custom request for us. So Dave Moe wrote that. And that song, it's a little bit about this town, but it's a little bit about a lot of towns. It's kind of a song that I had a little idea about because I was pissed off one day and I just happened to say, what a creepy little town. But then I started riffing on that. It wasn't just about like my town or where I was at. It just became about any town. But there are some things that definitely are about Ashland, Oregon that I have to cop to, like the Stepford Wives are all around line, you know.
Right on, right on. Now, how many guests are on this record?
Well, there's a lot. Dave Moe is the first person that comes to mind because he's on half the 13 songs on guitar, bass, drums, Hammond organ. We've got Wes Beach and TC Tolliver from the Plasmatics.
There we go.
Yeah, they're on the song Wax Fruit, which Wes Beach wrote the music. I wrote the lyrics. Love that song. Sammy Town from the band Fang, a good friend of mine and a hero of mine. He is on the song Dark Days. And if you listen, he's doing the talking parts underneath me singing. And he's reciting from the Bible out of Revelations at the beginning of the song, which was all his idea. So Sammy Town's on there. Jordan Longmire, as I stated, his father started the Bay City Rollers, and this was his first time coming to be in a studio situation. So he has now started his musical career, and I'm proud to say he's on the album. Who else? Gosh, the Vices, Ideal Vice, Austin Vice and Ren Vice, they did magnificent music on the song Zeller Dweller and Get Leery. Austin played guitar and drums and Ren plays bass, and they sent them to me. I'm like, whoa. So I was going to use one of them, but they were just so badass that I had to use both. So shout out to the Vices. Lisa Leathers sent me that great version of Mother Under My Wheel. Shout out to Jeff Eaton for that badass guitar solo on that song. Lisa Leathers is a longtime friend from the Peoria, Illinois area that used to be in a band called Safe Sex that were awesome. Also, Jim Neversink, South African Johnny Cash, they call him. He and I did a song together called Leaving the Party, which is the last song on the album, which is really about leaving the whole party of doing alcohol and drugs and all that. It's about getting sober. And Neil Solomon, he's a total African legend, South African legend as well, producer and musician. He produced part of that song. So shout out to Neil in South Africa. Don Bowles, as I said, was on the album. Paul Rossler of the Great Screamers and 45 Grave. He produced the album.
Wow.
And he was in, he did my Divine Dirt record, and he also did my Bloody Mess Rock Circus album. Of course, Rick Agnew produced that Rock Circus album, but Paul recorded it. So this was my third time in the studio with Paul Rossler, and now I got to say, I'm addicted. I'm addicted to Paul Rossler. He's my heroine. But who else am I not giving credit to? Sister Tracy's on the album. She does some backing vocals. She's been on most of the records I've done. God, I hope I'm not leaving anyone else out. If I am, I didn't mean to.
Right. Well, funny thing about 4-5 Grave is at one time I stole the stage name Rob Graves.
Did you really?
Because I didn't figure anybody know who it was.
That is a good name.
Rob Graves. I went Robin Graves. Robin. Yeah. Robin. I used Robin Graves instead of Rob Graves.
Well, that's a nice take on Rob Graves. I think Rob passed away. I'm not positive. I think so though.
Oh.
If he's not dead, sorry, Rob. No offense. And if you are dead, I guess still no offense because you're still alive somewhere.
I'm pretty sure died of cancer still kicking.
Yeah, I actually interviewed her on my radio show once.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nikki Sixx on 6 Cents one night. I was listening to him. I was working night shift. I was listening to that show, and he said he one time had screwed around with a girl in a coffin. He goes, and her first name was Dinah. And I was like, I bet it's Dinah Cancer.
Wow.
He wouldn't say her last name. He was like, yeah, she played in this gothic band. I was like, uh-huh.
Wow. Yep. It definitely had to have been Dinah.
Well, and I'll probably edit that part out.
Aw, shucks.
I don't know. Can I get in trouble for it?
I don't think so, because Dinah Cancer is not her real legal name, and she uses her real legal name on Facebook and stuff. So I don't think it'd be anything but some interesting dirt that somebody might go, wow, really?
Right. Now, last time you were on the show, you said your next record might be your last, or was going to be your last record.
Yeah. I just can't see doing another album. I haven't had a band since, March of 2020. So it's almost 4 years. I did do one gig last year. I put together a one-time band, and we called ourselves the Punk Rollers. And we did a gig opening for Richie Ramone in Southern Oregon for fun. And I did one song from each of my 9 albums. So now I have 10 albums. But yeah, I don't think I'll end up doing another full length. It was a lot of work, a lot of time.
Yes.
But I'm still going to do music and probably music videos. And I'm actually doing a new project right now that I guess I could probably announce, because I don't see why he would care. But me and Wes Beach and the Plasmatics are doing a little tribute to the Plasmatics. And I can't announce who the drummer and bass player is yet, but they're both legendary. Big time. And I can't announce it till they're fully on board, but I think they are. And they're both connected to Plasmatics and or the Wendy O. Williams band. So we're trying to do a legit Plasmatics tribute with myself on vocals and as many Plasmatics as we can get. But Wes Beach and I have worked together twice now. So this is something that's not really a secret. We're both working on right now a cover of A Pig is a Pig and another song by the Plasmatics. Plus we're going to do some original stuff and some more Plas, and we're going to do an EP or maybe a full length, but it's going to be a tribute to Wendy and the Plasmatics in the very end. It may be years, it may be months, but that's what Wes Beach and I are working on now.
Well, I know. I appreciate that you made a song about Michael Monroe.
Oh, thanks, man. I love Michael and Hanoi Rocks.
He doesn't get talked about enough, and I absolutely love his cover of Million Miles Away, the Steve Bader song. So
yeah,
he took that song to a different level, I thought.
Have you heard the songs that Michael and Steve did together? They've recorded two together, and they're one of them. I don't even know if you can get them on YouTube. But there's an album called The Best of Michael Monroe that I picked up from someone in Finland, and it's got one song with him and Steve. Then the other day, I was listening to another song, album. I think it might be The Best of Michael. I'm not sure, but it has another song with him and Steve. So there's 2, and one of them is probably one of the coolest songs I've ever heard. It's just that good. So yeah, shout out to the Michael Monroe and Steve Bader fans. But I had to do a tribute to Michael, and I hope that he hears it.
Yeah, Frank Sessions has been on the show. I don't know if you know who he is, but he played on the Disconnected record.
Steve Bader's first solo album.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was also in Blue Ash. I don't know if you remember Blue Ash, but he was also.
I don't.
They got just a little bit famous, and then kind of, during they're sometimes called the first power pop band.
Oh, really?
They opened for like Badfinger and stuff. I think that they maybe went on a tour with them.
Oh wow, what a trip!
Yeah, but yeah, and
it's funny you mentioned the word Ash, because I talked to one of the original members of Wishbone Ash yesterday.
Wow,
I'm totally unrelated, just to the Ash thing.
You're still doing a radio show, right?
Yeah, I'm still doing it. It's almost 25 years I've been doing it on Sundays, and I'm always lining up, weird, cool guests. So I'm getting the guy from Wishbone Ash is coming on the show. I'm excited. I haven't booked it yet, but I've been talking to him, and Michael Berryman, the actor from The Hills Have Eyes and so many other movies. He's coming on the show soon too. I'm excited.
All right. The Church of Rock radio show. There'll be a link to that in the description. That you can stream it too, right?
Yes, www.kskq.org, Sunday nights, 6 o'clock Pacific time or 8 o'clock Central. And it's a 2-hour show with myself and Sister Tracy. And we've been, like I said, doing it 24 years. And we've interviewed so many people over the years, from like Lee Ving of Fear to Gary Richrath of REO Speedwagon. Doyle from the Misfits has been on a lot. Cheetah Chrome from the Dead Boys a lot. Donnie Bowles has been on from the Germs. Paul Rossler is going to be coming on for the second or third time from the Screamers, I think, next week. So that's going to be good fun.
Cheetah Chrome, if you're watching or listening, you've never returned my emails. About being honest.
That sucks.
Well, he's busy, man, or either that or he's retired and said fuck that shit.
I think they're doing a new version of the Dead Boys that's just he's the only one that's left now. And when I saw them a few years ago, it was phenomenal. But they had Johnny Blitz on drums. But he kept Jake Hout does a real mean Stiv Bader. I won't say impersonation, but he steps in really good for Stiv. But for some reason they got rid of Ricky Rat on bass, which I don't get because he's like from the infamous Trash Brats. Yeah. But anyway,
he's been on my show.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I love Ricky, man. I'm a fan. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he is.
What a legend.
Yeah. You want to plug in your Bloody F Mess music and more?
Yeah, if you want to, if anyone's on Facebook and you'd like to connect with me, you can join the little music group that I have. There's between 600 and 700 members. It's very small, but it's Bloody F Mess Music and More. And it's pretty interactive and stuff. And so that's how people can connect if they want to order the new CD, perhaps. I would love to sell it sooner than later because they're sitting in boxes at this point on my floor. And the radio show again, Sunday nights, 6 to 8 at kskq.org.
That is all our time we have for now. Thank you for listening to Undergroundopolis. Remember, we do this every Wednesday night, bringing you new and exciting artists every week. Be sure to hit up their websites and social media and stream or download their music. If you like this show, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, any streaming platform, and leave us a review as well. I'm your host, Rob Lyon, signing off.